And what time do you call this?
Good morning, Professor. The time is...
I know what the time is. There's lots to be done.
How are we going to find out who the Lightkeepers are?
I'm just as curious as you, Harold, but we have better things to do.
I suppose you're right. How can I help?
You can start by taking the rob to Bridget. She'll make the necessary preparations for analysis, which you should be able to handle.
Okay, great. I'll get right on it.
And Harold, try to remember that whoever the Lightkeepers are, our jobs here are to make life more stable for the people here, not less.
I know. I'll get going.
Destination selected. Have a pleasant journey and a fantastic day. You may now exit the tube. Thank you on behalf of the All-Water Corporation for choosing to travel with us today.
Major?
Harold, if you're going to ask me about that leak,
Maybe I was.
then I would say don't ask. The appropriate protocols and due diligence was clearly not carried out by the guilty leaker in question.
But now that we have all heard it, should we do anything?
Absolutely not. The authorities will handle it. And if it wasn't meant for our ears, then we shouldn't pry.
Okay, Major. Bye for now.
All right, Zim.
Not bad, Alon. You hear that leak?
Yes, I did, Zim. Load of old nonsense, wasn't it?
Load of old nonsense, Alon. That said, I feel bad for the bloke that leaked it.
Yeah, I'm gonna cop an earful.
An earful he shall cop. You know what I'd say if I was Madam CEO?
What would you say, Zim?
If I was the CEO, I'd say to him, Oi, you're leakier than a cheap bucket and I'm not having it. Check yourself and your Tan-Eye communication protocol before you wreck yourself.
It's an earful, but a justifiable one, Zim. Maybe you should be the next CEO.
Nah, too much responsibility, Alon.
You know what I'd say if I was CEO?
What would you say then, Alon?
I'd say, Oi, you! You're leakier than an old pipe full of hungry mice, and I'm not having it. Now pull yourself together and remember that everything makes mistakes, but it's how you learn from them that counts.
And right you'd be, Alon. Right you'd be. Maybe you should be CEO.
Nah, too much responsibility. Happy right where I am, Zim. Ah, Harold, you're back. I knew my new marketing strategy would work.
Oh, I was more curious what you thought of the leak.
It's okay, you don't need an excuse to come back to the store. You know, your neck looks cold.
It does? I mean, what do you think the leak will mean for us?
This scarf will keep you cozy and stylish. What do you say?
It is nice and all, but I don't really need one.
Look, I'll put it on your tab as usual. Wear it about. If you really don't like it, then you can bring it back.
Okay. Thanks.
Come back soon, Harold.
Oh, hey, Nigel.
Yeah.
Harold, you heard about the leak too, right?
Yes. Quite interesting, I suppose.
I bet the guy did it on purpose.
Stop with your conspiracy theories.
It's not a conspiracy. I'm just saying maybe he was trying to do the right thing.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that possibility.
More likely, he'd had a few.
Not everything is caused or solved by beer, you know, Tommy.
Yeah, but some things are. You should try it for once.
Okay, I'll speak to you both later. Hey, Rafi. What are you up to today?
Lots. Very busy. Too busy to chit-chat.
Hey, Eve. Do you know Rafi well?
Not really. We have a mutual toleration understanding.
That sounds, nice. Do they have many of those?
No, that's a pretty rare privilege. You gotta respect their boundaries, you know?
Onat?
Harold?
Come on, give me a clue about the plot.
No way I'm ruining a surprise for you. Let's just say it's an epic Bildungsroman told through multiple narrators, set across the ancient Byzantine Empire, the far future planet of Gazorpazor, and the then present day of 19th century Papua New Guinea.
Wow, it does sound pretty epic. What's it called?
Nebola.
So, where did you find the book?
I have a friend in logistics. There were a couple of unopened safety deposit boxes, unopened since launch because the owners hadn't actually made it onto the ship. The statute of limitations ran out, they cracked them open, and he gave me a call to see if I wanted this book.
Whoa. What else was in the boxes?
Oh, I didn't ask, but I wonder who it belonged to.
Yeah, and why they never made it onto the ship.
Some mysteries will never be solved. Oh, but maybe I'll base my next interpretive dance piece on that idea.
I can't wait to see it. I'll be watching. Good luck.
Thanks, Harold. Hope you enjoy the show.
Buddy, hey, how's life treating you?
Just great, thanks, Harold. Just swell. Say, did you hear the leak?
I sure did. What do you think will happen to the poor guy?
Well, his face is going to be pretty red for a while, but I'm sure he'll bounce right back, though.
Yeah, I suppose so. What do you think the message will be?
We'll soon see, I wager. I think it'll be fascinating either way. I just hope it doesn't upset Zoya too much. He can be sensitive about these kinds of things.
Oh, true. He's in a pretty tough situation.
He sure is. Maybe I should get him to come on the next station jog with me. You know, get his legs active and his mind nice and calm.
That could be nice.
Speaking of which, about time you joined me on one again, eh?
You're right, but oh, sorry, buddy. I just realized I said I'd be somewhere. Talk to you soon.
See ya, Harold.
All right, Zim.
Not bad, Alon. You hear that?
Mr. 17?
Mr. Halibut?
I'll be going.
Always a pleasure.
Destination determined. Now, relax with all water. You're here. Thank you for choosing all water tubes.
Hello there, little miss. Are you lost?
You could call me Lise. And no, I'm just waiting for someone.
Oh, is Lise like a combination of little and miss?
No, stupid. It's my name. What's your name?
It's Harold. Nice to meet you.
Is Harold like car and old combined?
Well, I suppose it is, actually.
Can you just leave me alone? I'll yell stranger danger if you don't.
Okay. Bye, Lise. Ah, hello there. Secretary 8?
That's me, sir. Can I help you get where you're going?
That's okay. I was actually wondering... Well, I've been speaking to your brothers.
Oh, how nice. Which ones?
Mr. 17 and Mr. 24. Well, I didn't speak to Mr. 24 about that, but...
Ah, yes. Yes, good, loyal, all-water employees both. I dare say I've been a good influence. Although even my shining example couldn't extend to him.
So, he's the fourth brother. What happened to him?
Oh, I do apologize. I've got to see to, matters. But I'm sure 24 can help with your inquiries. He has a better grip on the whole sordid affair than I do.
Okay, Mr. 8.
Location nominated. Journey commencing. All water thanking you. Thank you for traveling with all water. We rebranded Freshwater Clarification Agency to All Water Corporation.
Zoya, hey.
Hello, Harold.
Mr. 24, hi.
Mr. Halibut?
So, I was just talking to your brother, Secretary 17. And it was funny. Actually, at first I thought he was your other brother, 8.
I'm sure he found it just as hilarious as I do. Do you need something?
Only that when I spoke to 8 about what 17 said, he said to speak to you about what happened with your fourth brother.
Ah, yes. Our wayward Warren, the fourth brother who went his separate way, choosing a life of gastronomical frivolity over contributing to society with all water.
Oh, I see. Are you ashamed of him just because he didn't follow you all into working for the corporation? Is that why none of you like to talk about him?
Actually, he tried, but he didn't pass the entrance exam. We suspect his heart wasn't really in it. We used to do everything together, and we were supposed to stick together.
that he didn't study enough, and now...
Yes. What does he do now?
Last I heard, Warren had started a food stall. I don't want to think about it.
Okay. Well, thanks for telling me about him. I'll leave you be.
Got water. Castle Chop oversaw the introduction of digital ring time in 15,342 AC and in 15,342.5 AC, we held the first employee...
Welcome. I am All-Water Automated Secretary number 1. How may I assist your all-water related learning?
Fess up. This was followed by the all-water-led renewal projects.
Bye.
The all-water...
Up the Pelican Station area back to the public. All water. Moving people every day. We know you enjoyed traveling with all water. You're welcome. All water compliments you on your choice of destination. All water. We get you where you're going.
Mr. 17.
Correctly calculated. I can't offer you another raffle, I'm afraid.
That's okay. I understand. But I asked 24 about Warren. The way some of you talked about him, I thought something bad had happened or something.
Something bad did happen to him. I'm sure 24 told you about his entrance exam, but that's not the whole story. We would have supported him anyway, but he began to be disparaging about all water, suggesting that maybe it was for the best that he didn't get a position.
So that's when you fell out?
I think so. It's complicated. It's been a long time since we spoke. He went off travelling the station on some chaotic quest to find culinary inspiration, I believe.
I see.
I mean, 24 and 8 didn't make it easy for him, but I don't want to bore you with the family history, and I need to get back to revising these raffle ratios.
Okay. See you, Mr. 17.
Travel in style with all water.
Mr. 8, hey there.
Hello again. Did you talk to 24 in the end?
Yes, and then to 17. So I know about Warren now. How do you feel about the whole situation?
I feel morose. We were such a tight-knit family before Warren caused schism. You know, despite us being quadruplets, I quickly became the natural leader and trendsetter, so I suppose Warren, being technically the youngest by a few minutes, always resented me for that.
Gosh, it must have been so tiring.
Yes, I understand childbirth is really rather taxing. 4 at the same time is quite a feat.
I meant the arguments between you 4. But yes, that too.
Anyway, I suppose he's due back from his palate-pleasing pilgrimage one of these days. That'll be awkward.
I'm curious to meet him. At least it'll be easy for me to recognize him.
Or so you think. He's really quite different from the rest of us. I remember 17 joking that it was more like we were 3 identical triplets and Warren was the even one out. You know, like odd one out, but with 4. It's an even number.
I get it. Now that I think about it, it's clear 17 inherited the maths gene, but not the humor gene.
Destination selected. Have a pleasant journey and a fantastic day. You may now exit the tube. Thank you on behalf of the All-Water Corporation for choosing to travel with us today.
Inspecting. No contaminants detected.
Hey, Harold.
Hello, Cy. How's the start procedure going?
So, I've got an awful lot to get through and no one to help me with it all.
That's not true, Cy. Madam CEO asked us to keep an eye on... help you.
What do you mean, asked? And I?
Just that, she was concerned about you, I guess.
Wow, she must really trust me. It's not like I'm one of the ship's foremost experts in molecular sciences.
So, what is your procedure idea exactly?
So, there are a couple of stages to it. The first stage is all about our current stasis. As we all know, the ship's weight and the fact certain sections are full of water gives us a stable buoyancy, and because of the tide, we're in a very slow and long orbit. So, we start by pumping some of the water out through the ship's thrusters, accelerating our orbital trajectory. Then comes phase 2. Once we reach a certain velocity, we pump more water into the unused core, making us sink deeper toward the gravity well, which will tighten our orbit but keep the speed, thus building greater momentum. Yeah, like those ice skaters when they crouch down in a pirouette.
Oh, those videos are great. When you get Slippy to let you borrow them, anyway. Ooh, is that where you got the idea from?
No, my idea came from much less frivolous scientific principles. But yeah, they are good vids. As I was saying, once we reach max possible speed, here's where it gets fun, we pump out all the water. But not all water, that would be mean. At the same time, and use the sudden extra buoyancy to break free of our orbit on an upwards trajectory towards the planet's surface.
Oh, a bit like an ancient cephalopod.
Yeah, exactly. How on Fedora did you know about that?
Oh, I found a book lying around in the lab called Masterminds of the Deep. I kind of hoped it was going to be an adventure novel.
Ah, interesting. But anyway, here's where it gets tricky. As the Fedora is still going to be denser than the surrounding water, our velocity will slow down the closer we get to the surface. But if we time everything right, our initial slingshot should create just enough momentum to allow us to break free the ocean surface for about a minute.
Like a flying fish. It'll be so weird to see the sky.
Focus, Harold. This is the most crucial part. We must launch the thrusters at exactly the right moment if we wish to achieve escape velocity. Too early, they'll be waterlogged. Too late, and we'll crash right back into the sea.
Wow, Cy, that's an amazing plan. Think it'll work?
Oh, in theory, absolutely. But there's something in my calculations that seems off. I've checked everything, but I can't pin down the variable.
Like the timing?
Kind of. If I didn't know better, I'd say time itself.
Okay.
Anyway, what did Maro say about what Madame CEO said?
Oh, she said she trusted you and that there was no need.
Did she now?
Yeah?
Knowing her, she did it just to spite the CEO. Anyway, you seen Sunny recently?
No. Not for a long time, actually.
Since you two went your separate ways?
Mm-hmm. She said she needed to find herself.
Well, I'm sure she'll turn up eventually. Were things all right between you?
Yeah, it was, we're two different people.
Sunny alone is at least two different people. But I'm glad it wasn't anything too dramatic. Anyway, back to work for me.
Yeah. Looks like you've got it cut out for you. Good luck, Sai.